Whoa, no.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Occultist Anonymous as we launch once more into a sea of stars. Thanks as always to folks that support us at Roll20, as well as all of our wonderful folks out in Patreon land. Very special thank you to Adele, Alice, Al, Alexander, Alpha Wolf, Alsrit, Bernie, Buck, Chris, Doc, Emil, Ethan, George, I'm the Real 06, James, John, Josh, Camo, Cat Feathers, Klaus, Leroy, Melissa, Milo V3, Moku, Mozart D minor, Noctal, Other Guy, Perry, Foog, Porter, Puppeteer, Riafio, Ryan, Sean, Shixara, Thomas, Toast, Vincent, Vortex Falcon, Why Gender When You Conserve the Iron Pyramid, Sultan, and Aethernalis. We appreciate your support as always, especially as we head into the season of the witch again.
What?
I.e., we're going to play mage again soon, we promise. I know this is a Mage the Awakening podcast, right?
There was a time.
Only as a casual 18-month break of playing mage.
Once upon a time, we played a thing called Mage.
It's coming back.
We left it to do other things.
There are, as I've said before, rumors of art being made. Confirmations of rumors that art is being made. Denial of access to art being made.
Yeah.
No previews.
Nope. Yet. Not until we get everybody together.
I'm going to do a true communism and seize the means of production.
Payment's already been sent.
What does that mean when it's a single person doing it?
Seize the artist.
Yes, exactly. Doesn't that strike you as like a less liberating thing that's happening?
Actually, perhaps it's less
That's
kidnapping
why Ash
Bren.
is going to the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, less kidnapping Bren and more taking their computer.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
Shout out to Bren for having the powerful move of having character art for a character in session 1 this week.
Wow.
Just showing up, having done their homework.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's a pretty powerful flex.
Also, shout out to Adele for only rolling ones all night.
Yes,
Really in the same in this game.
Yep.
My favorite. You know, I love it.
But yes, we here are also on this podcast going to play some Girl by Moonlight. And this is not the first time that we've done so. And so last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
That's another. Never mind.
I know. Watched 30 episodes of Dragon Ball Z in the last 2 days, so it's a problem. My brain is quite a place right now. But last week,
Well, there's going to be a lot of screaming in this session too.
Maybe.
Phrasing. You were talking about wingmanning each other before we started. So.
Oh, fair enough. That's a good point.
Jesus.
Yep.
Okay, so last time we started off the session picking up in the middle of what could have been a disaster of a mission.
Yes.
With a very large and powerful Leviathan having emerged from Jupiter.
Poseidon.
Like the Kraken from the deep.
Yes.
And then my player's life.
Hi guys, I'm back.
You were gone?
Yep.
I didn't even notice.
Shows how much we pay attention to you.
Well, the best part was I was like, yeah, check this out. And I started scrolling and I made that comment and then I looked back over and everybody's still frozen. I'm like, uh-oh. And then
Hello.
Your camera.
You're frozen.
I had connection issues again for a second there. Bufferage happened, but you guys are still good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can hear you the whole time.
Not you, them. Yeah, the last little hiccup was just a second. I'm just paranoid about how the YouTube stuff works because it'll spawn another video instead of continuing the existing one. But it sounds like everybody's still good. Hi, Pupper.
Alrighty. Go and get comfy.
Be the comfiest boy.
What a baby. Oh, wasn't good enough.
Just the blankie.
What a creature.
Seriously.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
No, okay.
We good. And Marley. Nope, not Marley. Why are the too many names, too similar? I'm so done. Okay. It's a Friday. Please continue, Chris. You're the best.
Okay.
Thanks.
What parts may have been missed?
I complained about, or I flexed on the number of sixes we rolled, and that was the last. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about at the very end. We talked about how there was a fallout roll, which led to some player knowledge that something has happened in more political strife, sort of. Arena back at the Last Bastion, but you all are on a slow return of a number of days back to Earth as the mechanical engines, the propulsion systems, I have to be careful here, of the Argo have taken a hit because they routed all of their power into the weapons.
Yes, they did.
To help in the battle against Poseidon. So
You mean they blew their load?
I left off. There's some partying happening, but there will still be obligations and responsibilities and stuff, which we're going to get into right now, unless there's something I missed.
Captain pulled that cool move about giving your shit and then joining the party. That was good. That was awesome.
That was real good.
The pole mark. All right. Well, it's that time of the series where you gotta roll them bones.
Yay.
For your obligation, your lowest stat.
Yay. I love it.
Oof.
I'm done.
Oof.
Yay. Give me those 4.
Not bad.
Dress gonna go eclipse again, everybody. It's a goal.
What are we rolling?
Obligation.
Your obligation is your lowest stat.
And specifically,
you got 2 in everything, so roll whatever you want.
You scroll down on the right side, it'll there is a obligation roll specifically. Not that you have to use that one, but
yeah, it shows you each of the attributes. You just click on which one you want.
Nice.
Very nice.
Way to go. Way to go.
All right. So we pick up with Malphus.
But we clear all the previous stress, yeah?
Affirmative.
Yes. Hi, Kik. What you doing?
Cat cam.
A beast.
Bother. Wrong way. So we start off with Malphus. It is, I think, the next day. How much?
We're still on
enjoyment. Oh yeah, you're going to be en route for all of this downtime and everything. And then, perhaps we'll see what happens after that. How much into the partying and things did Malphus get?
Not
celebration
too heavily, because basically towards the end, especially once he probably got a little bit more inebriated. He's not one to drink, but this is one of those, like, I mean, it's hard not to. Everybody is partying. This is a serious, should have died kind of celebration, but he was, talking to the engines, and so yeah, he probably, got drunk, but probably not blackout drunk or anything like that. But yeah, he was having a good time, and then
did fall asleep in the engine or whatever.
I think that may have been where he ended up eventually, unless you have some better idea.
No, that sounds cool. And you rolled stars.
So social pressure or panic?
Yeah, I think it's pretty yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of panic. And I think it is partially the revenge for your physical confrontation with
FELTs?
FELTs. As you start having a really awful dream.
Joy.
And it takes a while. You're panicking, having these sort of run back scenarios of everything that could have gone wrong and did go wrong in missions, and you notice that, like, I think you at some point start noticing that you have a familiar feeling about these, that you're not dreaming. And you get enough awareness to realize that you did fall asleep in which mech did you fall asleep in?
I mean, probably Medea, though. He would rather go hang out with Sisyphus, but he's not allowed.
I think you were sassing Sisyphus, right? Or not sassing, expressing feelings towards Sisyphus.
But yeah, you realize enough of what is going on to realize that someone has put the playback headset stuff on you while you were passed out.
Oh,
well, I would bet, just for world building, it's probably the same gear that you wear when communing and chatting with the mechs.
Yeah. So yeah, someone's run disaster scenarios on you while you're asleep.
Whoa!
Wake up having internalized a lot of that panic and badness and stuff.
Oh gosh!
Just absolutely worst dreams ever. Yeah. 5 stress worth.
Yeah, and I think
that's pretty cool, Chris.
And the engine would be part of it too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it feels real.
Yeah. You managed to come up out of that after end of one of the programs, and there's a big black-eyed FELTs just sort of present enough to make it understood,
outside the engine cockpit looking in kind of thing.
part of the way across the hangar, with enough social distance, and you're not gonna essentially it's it
possible
would be
deniability kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It would be actual insubordination, problematic levels for you to go confront him again. And
right.
Yeah. Janice.
Yes.
You have rolled Sun.
Yeah.
Consequences from violence or fear.
Yep.
I think in much of the same manner, I think it is this is your actual psyche doing this to you, though.
Oh yeah.
It is a fretful night of sleep, perhaps augmented by drink and stress. And it is sort of a blurring together of timelines and memories and foreseals. What the fuck? What word was I trying to
Foresight.
Or foresight?
Yeah. Prophecy. How about?
Yeah, prophecy. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one of those things where you start awake moments before your alarm would have gone off.
Yeah.
and just in a deep sweat.
Oh yeah.
And having to sort of restructure your brain on like, okay, which of these are memories, which of these are memories from this life, which of these are yeah. Oof.
Timelines I haven't even experienced and are
Right.
possible if things go poorly, and oh god. Yeah.
Craig.
I feel back to normal. I'm stressed out again.
Didn't even know what to do with all that.
That's right.
Craig, you've got more stress on your sheet than you need to.
Oh, I forgot to clear it. I have a suggestion.
Okay.
The recent intimacy with Janice has reawakened a lot of feelings she's been kind of keeping buried, and she's wrestling with that as a suggestion.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, I mean that sounds not great. Great's not the right term for it, but yeah,
Appropriate.
Appropriate. There you go. I'm really struggling on the word choice tonight, y'all. Yeah, if you want to just narrate that a little bit, that's perfectly fine with me.
Since the incident, she's been closer than ever with Tamara, but in a lot of ways, she's farther away than she's ever been. And that lack of physical intimacy is always kind of hard for her.
Yeah.
So, and our society doesn't really embrace that aspect of humanity. So it's one of the things that kind of keeps her as an outsider. But with the party going on and the commensurate reduction of inhibitions and stuff like that, maybe she's got into an awkward social situation and misread some cues or something. And
yeah,
just
one of your classic like go to like make a what seems in your head like a really relatable joke, and then everyone
and then somebody like reacts like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Lily having a pretty good day. She's been a hero. She got Gatorated.
Thank you for remembering.
Yeah,
Base
there was
Gatorated.
nice big party.
And now here it's just one little measly dot of stress here.
Transcended for the first time, and yeah, I feel like it is just and the anxiety is one. It's the knowledge that you're now expected to be better. But again, it's not that bad. She's still mostly feeling good from surprising herself.
That very I'm gonna speak from definitely not personal experience. You've just proven where the bar should be set.
Yep.
And now if you don't clear it, you're not living up to your potential.
Ooh, that's rough.
Raise your hand, everybody who's in gifted and talented program.
Just me and 20 of my closest neurodivergent friends that weren't diagnosed with anything.
Yep.
So from there, now we got the bad stuff out of the way. It's time for only good stuff now, right?
Yes, of course.
So, downtime actions. Let's hit it.
Yay, downtime. I figure we should distribute the preparation rolls first, right?
Well, at the very start of it, we do.
Oh, that's right.
Do our links go away from before?
Your links and your stress go away. We now do actions. The adversaries are in tier 3. No, they're in tier 2.
Tier 2, yeah.
So we get 2 actions for the Bastion. The first of which is going to be helping the mess hall project.
Great. Yeah.
If someone wants to roll,
That's the 3d6,
3
right?
dice. Yep. A 5.
Yay.
It should be
That
enough.
That is enough. Yes.
Yeah. Works very well. Partied up in the cafeteria, and now it's officially a mess hall.
Time to make connections. We are gonna make some connections.
Excellent. So that's one. The Leviathan track exceeds the readiness track, so it's going to make some preparations. So if someone else could roll a 3 dice one.
Happy to. Come on. All right.
3.
I thought things could change, but they can't.
So
I'm
that's
sorry, everybody.
2 spots of readiness.
Forgive me for being optimistic.
Yeah, it's fine. We got
It happened.
a couple more anyways.
And then y'all get how many extra actions?
2, based on Leviathan
Because
track
of the
tier.
Leviathan. Yep. Okay. So I think so. Janice and Malphus got him last time,
Mm-hmm.
so I think we can just
Swap them.
swap
Yep.
them.
Yep, makes sense to me.
So Lily and Saraia, you got 3 downtime actions.
Well, actually, I think they already had 3. I think they'll have 4.
Oh, fair.
Which is fine because one of those downtime actions is just preparedness. So
Yeah.
No, I had 3 because I had only mortal, which gave me an extra one.
Oh, you don't have that
I
anymore.
don't have that.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 3. Saraia is the one who has 4.
We're going there eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Cool though. All right. Well, Lily and Saraia, I would like y'all to narrate how you're making preparations. As part of the
Perfect.
series ability.
Lily's definitely trying to gather information on, like, we came out of that fight we should not have, and so she wants us to have any sort of edge we can possibly get, find anything in our records related to the big ones, to make us as prepared as possible for when we have to face one again, or even just that one again because it's still there. So analyze?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Is it positions? No.
Not relevant during downtime. Four. So that'll get you
One question,
3
one follow up.
segments. 3 segments of readiness.
Oh, right.
And then also 1 question and 1 follow up from your gather info. The right column.
Yeah, I would go with what is most dangerous here. Like, what? I'm seeking information about our enemies.
Give me the top boss list of Leviathans, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can go over records, you can go over training data, and I think you can also ask Persephone. And some combination of those things. leads to some information about a few of the others. The bigger, more direct threat ones are along the lines of Poseidon, of like truly massive, like then the first few times that they were seen, it was like 20 engines to like barely drive them off.
Whoa.
And along those lines, the double event that led to the like naming structure that we talked about before with Persephone. Her squad was like 12 people.
Oh my gosh.
And she was the only survivor, and only just barely at that.
Yeah.
And those engines are theoretically out there if they weren't totally destroyed.
Yeah.
But finding them in the depths of space is hard.
It's kind of big out there, even in just our solar system.
Can I ask a question? I realized I didn't ask this before. And I thought I had, but I should have asked this much earlier. What is the farthest that we could conceivably go from Earth based on the technology available?
Let's say there were plans to make it to Alpha Centauri.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Before the Leviathans showed up.
All right. Cool. That sounds good. That kind of grounds me in the attitude. And...
It would be like maybe a year. I don't know. I don't want to get too. I mean, it also is not super relevant to this, but like,
of course,
thereabouts. Like,
I just mean in terms of searching for engines and stuff. Like, what are the constraints of where we're going to be able to pursue?
The solar system.
That was a sufficient answer to me.
Things are in the solar system.
Yeah, cool.
But still, large place.
Yep. Totally.
And a lot of the sort of boundary of defense was like the asteroid belt for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like between Mars and the asteroid belt was kind of the big
hold the line
trenches, if you will. And so a lot of the engines that were lost have probably been like ground to dust in the asteroid belt and stuff like that.
Oh my god.
So on top of things like Poseidon, Hades, and
Zeus?
No.
Okay.
Zeus has only ever been seen once.
We just like some grainy footage before
right,
yeah. Never actually there is something that they named Zeus that has never made itself known.
It's just like I'm out here.
Yeah, it's just like occasionally everything goes really haywire on all the sensors, and you're like, either something's wrong
or something really
very wrong. No, Persephone's mother.
Demeter.
Demeter, yeah. Was in particular vicious in the way that literally froze half of the mechs solid, even though they're in space. There is and then there's some notes about a few smaller ones that had gotten closer in, that could be defeated, but had a lot more different of an approach. They seem to focus on things like stealth, or there's a vague notion, or there's I think with a 4, you like find a couple like really like conspiratorial notes about like events that have happened and like
Leviathan question mark?
Leviathan question mark. One being like a space station that was like out by Mars, that was like in orbit around Mars or whatever, that had something very strange happen there, and like all the records are sealed. It's just like red arrows pointing towards like
Fun.
What about that?
So perhaps they weren't supposed to be in this close, but maybe they have been, and no one's been telling us.
Mm-hmm. That is certainly something that Lily could think. Yeah, there's definitely the key core conclusion you come to is that there is more to it than what you can find out right now.
Okay.
Conclusions from there are up to you. Saraia, how are you making preparations?
I got 3 things on the go. 2 because of
do the preparations first, if you would.
Okay. And maybe I'm sorry. Can I work on Icarus?
Is it,
No, that's something
making preparations is effectively gather info for this series, and we just
I
get
have
the one
something for that.
Mm-hmm.
The number of engines that actually mesh with me is very small, and the one that does is quite interesting. So I feel like we need to rebuild our repository a little bit. So I want to do a little bit of research about an engine that's more fitted to Saraia's temperament.
Okay.
If there's possibilities for a recovery mission or something, or some engine that may have survived.
Yeah, that's a very, I mean, yeah. I think you can kind of spin off of some of the notes that Lily is finding as well. I don't know, there's like a little scene where you find Lily looking into the monsters and she's like, yeah, there's like records of like all of these engines, and you're just like, okay, let me just take this part and hyperfixate on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like theoretically they should be in this area.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what kind of a rule that would be. Maybe confess to get the data, or empathize to try and find a match.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I think empathize works.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in the sort of like, you have to know yourself well enough in this moment to sort of go through these and not just be like, oh, this one sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's
doesn't go so well. It's fine.
Not negative.
All of the engines are aggressive and violent, and
No, you just only get the one question.
You get one. You get some information.
Do still get 2 segments of readiness. So your readiness is up into tier 3.
Hey.
Good, because that's where our enemies are.
Nope.
No, enemies are still in tier 2. They only have 2 segments left.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I thought you said they were tier 3.
I had it wrong earlier. Yeah. So you look in, you find some info. You think there's enough of a clue about some, and I think you get into some other records as well about like decommissioned ones. And there's enough of a hint that like somewhere below, like in the belly of the Last Bastion, are some engines that have been decommissioned for some reason.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
I wonder how one goes about getting access to that sort of area.
We sneak.
Gotta be ready to
Yeah,
break
do you
some
need
rules.
permission?
Yeah.
Janice
I
would be
don't know
happy to help you with that.
I don't know that Saraia would see asking permission as a valid course of action given her relationship with the structure of command.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why ask?
Let's go sneaking around.
Yeah,
If
just,
only you knew some people who are up for breaking rules.
just go down and turn on the giant robot that's been turned off on purpose.
Yep.
That is beneath a city full of the last surviving humans.
What
It
could
seems
possibly go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like a perfect plan.
Sounds like
We
a
know
scene
better.
you would see on your space anime.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we heard that there's one that can help us win the war. Okay, they're sitting on a victory, and we need to stop them.
It powers up and asks, "Hi, would you like to destroy evil today?"
Yeah.
Nope, shut it down.
Yeah.
Craig, I'm going to give you a name, actually.
Yes.
Awesome.
Achilles.
Yes. Yes. Are the little myrmidons? They come out. Oh, it's so exciting. Yes.
Oh, who is his buddy?
Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
His buddy? Come on. Gay erasure here.
They were roommates, all right.
They were
They were
roommates,
just
all right?
roommates.
They were tent mates.
So many historians like they were just really good friends. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, shout out to the novel Song of Achilles,
Oh, yeah.
lyrical retelling of story of Achilles and Patroclus, and it's
Yes.
really, really good and really gay and really sad. If you want to be
super
gay and
sad.
sad like me, read that book.
I think that's any story involving Achilles is pretty much guaranteed to be sad, right?
True.
Depends.
Like, even when he was doing his best, you still have dangling at the end. It's just like, and then it all crashes down.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that's like 99% of Greek stories.
Oh, yeah. There's a reason we have Greek tragedy.
There's a reason that like I was ready to do this for this. Like the Greek theme came to me for this sort of like not even like Pyrrhic victory, but just like endless struggle sort of campaign.
That's right. Just to be in task the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still big shout out for that name.
Yeah, it's great.
The fact that I didn't think of it myself, I was like, great job. So downtime, go. People have thoughts and opinions and actions.
Real quick, because I want to make sure we're making progress on them. Lily, do you still have injuries and harms?
Yeah, I've got 3 ticks to repair my number 2 injury.
That's what I had remembered. So Malphus will definitely be following up with Lily. It is definitely not a I'm making you feel better. It is more of a, hey, Lily, real pilots work out. And
I know you've got nerve damage, but come lift things with me.
Yep.
Lifting will help your nerve problem.
Look, fibromyalgia isn't real. Okay, it's all in your head, and you get it out of your head by lifting.
Just take 2 of these pills. No, you don't need water to swallow. Just take them. Let's go.
You dry scooping pre-workout too.
Oh, that's a bit much.
It's the future. Who cares?
Challenge, but
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
But chocolate flavored.
Yeah. Let's put dry saltines in our mouths.
It sounds like you're doing a help a friend recover.
Correct.
Help a friend have trouble recovering.
Yeah.
Yep. I was leaning into potentially express. I mean, I love defy because that's what I'm good at, but I couldn't see this one really being defy. But yeah, either empathize or express, either one. Actually, considering he does
it
have,
could be conceal too.
actually, that's fair. That's very fair.
Like you are very like to my read of it, you are very obviously hiding the fact that you are caring for this person,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which seems perfectly reasonable.
Yep. And
yeah, you just make a roll.
yeah, I was gonna say because it's the make a bond that gets the additional die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right, come on, nerd. Okay. Well.
3. So you get 2.
Okay. So that's enough to clear your thing.
So it bumps the.
That'll be a rank 1 harm.
It'll be a rank 1, and you'll have 1 extra. You'll have 1 out of 4 to healing that one.
Cool. And what was the other downtime action? Actually, let's do this. Do you want us to do this all one at a time, or should we go in cycles?
Whatever works for y'all.
Okay.
Go right ahead, Drew. You can keep going.
Okay. Cool.
You've got solid opinions and thoughts.
Yep.
By all means.
Not in a rush. Having a good time.
We jump over to the mechs.
Just said take that time.
How does
enjoy it.
Lily respond to being like
That's true. Thank you.
workout bullied? And genuinely having it make her feel better.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause-
I mean, like, annoyed, but a little less so when she does actually feel better.
Yeah, because
Malphus, you go and like do a bench press, and you get it fully extended, and just have like the most satisfying like stretch pop, like your whole body just like relaxes a bit, and you're like, wait, hold on, how did that?
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing. You're going to hit new records at every exercise we do because Malphus will not let you slack off. Like, absolute asshole about it, but you are on the team. You are a pilot. You got to push yourself. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And just because it's in my head, I love that Lily's reaction is basically like Lizelle from BG3. You're like, you're right, and I hate it, but you're right.
Yep. It's just like initially we were like, yeah, you have nerve burnout. Let's go work out about it. It's just like, okay. And then it helps.
Tragic news. Person you least respect has a good opinion.
That's right, exactly.
And I also did remember the other thing I wanted to work on was Nemesis. And it's poor haunted, self.
You are helping it recover.
Right.
Okay.
And so I'm going to throw Defy at that.
So, wake up, you stupid sack of shit.
God. Well,
That's good.
Hey, bud. Stop rolling D3s.
Yeah, right. But that's fine. That's one segment?
2 segments.
Okay, cool.
Hey, that's 2 strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can actually take it out.
You can take a mech out at 1 strength if you're not scared.
Listen. There's going to be a talk later with Saraia about her brilliant idea, but we got out of there alive, so I'm not pushing it.
Yeah, it went well.
Yeah, everything went great.
Surprisingly,
everything went great.
I was right because it worked.
Exactly. My justification was perfect.
Yes.
I hate that. Okay, but
he's the best dog.
He's a good dog. He's a brain dog. Who's next? Craig, sound like you had some thoughts.
I got a couple quick ones and a longer one.
Okay.
Quick one, I was working on Icarus.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna lean into confess with that. To try and build trust, because Sarai's had an engine before and it got blown out from under her.
An engine?
Yeah, and backstory wise, she was part of a squad, right? And
I thought she was like
an engine.
She was a fighter pilot kind of.
Yeah, like fighter pilot kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
so
the engine of the fighter pilot might have got blown out from under her.
Yeah,
yeah.
You've lost a craft, I think,
Right.
but
Yes,
not
I've
a
lost.
not a semi-sentient one before.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, like
And learned a lot from that experience, despite the scars and emotional trauma and stuff. But
sure.
try and build a rapport that way. See how that goes. Hey,
not bad.
4 will get you 3 segments.
that's awesome. Strength
Icarus
2.
also goes up to 2 strength out of 3, and 1 extra segment. Perfect.
Oh, we got to work on power source at some point, because that would really help.
That was kind of what I was going to push for
sweet.
next.
Good.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Next, I wanted some gather information about a good friend Malphus.
Mm.
What
Sure.
is he really feeling?
I'll roll
about
it first.
Janice? Yeah.
They get to ask that for free, but yes.
Oh, rude.
Yes.
Sure. Fine.
Saraia and Lily both have this ability, so
yeah.
get ready.
Okay, fine. I mean, I guess guaranteed to get at least one question, anyways. But what do I really feel about Janice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, Janice is the rival for Malphus mechanically. Right. This like Janice is currently, well, actually in context, right? Janice now irritates Malphus more than Lily does.
But and correct me if I'm wrong, in Malphus's paradigm, having that arrival and annoyance is also a mark of respect.
Correct.
And admiration.
Right. Now, whether or not everybody understands that is a whole other thing.
Saraia understands.
Saraia is all about the understanding.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, there's no deeper like connection. There's no like the romantic interest that Janice had to other Malphus. There's no sense of that with this Malphus. Like he is not romantically interested in any of the pilots. I don't think he's romantically interested in anybody that anybody's met.
Doesn't seem that way. Do go ahead and roll whatever action you're gonna take and describe like how you're finding out these things about Malphus.
I'm gonna try and empathize because Saraia kind of understands where Malphus is coming from, so trying to use that as a way to needle her way in to get a little bit deeper.
Get in there.
Because I have some follow-up questions if I do well.
And
that's all right.
Does this still count as preparations then?
It does.
Cool. So 3 segments.
So 4 gives me a question and 1 follow-up.
You already.
I did. Sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, one additional question and 1 additional follow-up.
Okay, so my question is Malphus open to the possibility of romantic entanglements in general?
Yes.
And my follow-up question is, what is the best path to plant that seed in Malphus?
Flip the double bird to the management.
Okay, so sort of the Klingon style of romance.
Beat
the shit out of somebody in front of your potential mate. Yeah.
I mean, yes, but more specifically, like, because his backstory, right? It's from draft dodging and protesting the Last Bastion government and stuff like that. He is here, in protest. Doesn't agree with a lot of this stuff, and the only way is to earn respect with him is to be good at your job, and then actual romantic interest, show that you actually care beyond your job.
What part of the world is Malphus from?
I feel like he is Mediterranean, but I don't want to say he's Egyptian because I don't know that he is, but yeah, he's from somewhere within that belt, maybe Italian or Spanish.
Yeah. And I think like I mean, national boundaries and stuff
Right.
like that. Long before you were born, kind of stopped.
True.
Not mattering, but like there's
'cause we
only
had-
a few settlements, and it would have been like part of your draft dodging would have been sort of going around some destructed, not wastelands, but like ruins of civilization, right?
Yep.
And so turns out, yeah, like you can still survive in one of the places that has had life on Earth for some of the longest amounts of time.
Yep. Yeah, and that's very much in my head what Malphus and his other draft dodger folks did or were trying to do.
Yep. Got picked up because somebody found your farm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Right, and the last thing I had was Janice, and if I may propose,
Yes.
there's an opportunity for Janice to help heal a harm
Oh yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
So Janice is still struggling from the loneliness condition harm from the previous mission, and that's all been kind of reinforced through the last couple of episodes.
Saraia is?
Oh, you mean Saraia?
Saraia is Saraia. Brain not working right.
You're good.
So I want to try confess with Janice about how she's feeling and why and how she ended up the way she is.
Okay. This will be making a link and then sort of.
So
provide
yeah,
an
looking to make some
opportunity.
links with Janice.
Sure.
Cool. In the mess hall. Let's use it.
Oh sure.
Yeah, get that extra die.
Brand new mess hall.
Same as the old mess hall. We just cleaned it up finally.
It's just the finishing mark was cleaning up the Gatorade.
Oh,
Y'all have
Two
got to
links.
roll some larger numbers.
listen, last session, that's where all the
You're just
numbers
never
went.
happy. Last time you were disappointed we were rolling sixes, and now you're disappointed we're not.
Tough Taskmaster.
And Chris's response is yes.
I'll take
Something
those two
like that,
links.
Right,
I
so
want
that's
to root
two.
for you during downtime.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
I don't get to punish you during downtime. You just don't get to succeed as hard if you don't roll well.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to
So
get together.
with a 3, you generate 2 links for Janice. Or Janice has 2 links to you.
I marked them.
Yep.
And the crux of the confess that Saraia is that she I don't know, did she tell you the details of what she is and how she got that way?
Nope.
So in
Janice
response to
related
your,
to her, and she said, "Yeah, I know what that's like." Something like that, but she didn't.
so in
Details.
response to you sharing your time travel alternate timeline stuff that she doesn't have the ability to process but just accepts as the truth because you believe it.
Mhm.
But she talks about how she was on, do we have gunships
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
crewed attack craft mechanism, like multi crew?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like in the very in the order of like hundreds.
Mm-hmm. So she was on the crew of a gunship that was shot down, and all the rest of the crew was like dead or dying all around her in the wreckage and flames and everything, and she sustained serious injuries. But she was in a forbidden relationship with one of the other crew, so she's crawling through the wreckage with what's left of her body, trying to reach the target of affections, Tamara. And then something happened when they met eyes and managed to touch as their life was ebbing away, and there was a transcendent moment and they became joined.
Yes, Chris.
They did the fusion dance on the ground,
Mhm.
which is not a euphemism.
Mm.
So she's an amalgamation of her and Tamara. That's why she has different colored eyes. She's sustained horrific injuries, and the reason she's whole and hale now is because of their joining. So they both died on that battlefield effectively. If it wasn't for that transcendent moment, she wouldn't even be here. And she would talk about how that means that they are emotionally closer than they have ever been. but the lack of physical connection has been really hard to deal with, especially in this society. And that's why it almost moved her to tears when you accepted a hug. It's great having that immediacy and constant support mentally, but the physical side of things is it's an ache or a void that this society doesn't honor or respect, I guess. So it's something that she can't fulfill. So that's the confession.
Sick.
Wow.
But apparently it doesn't
Yeah.
go. Wait, hold on. You possibly get a better roll than this because
Oh, there might be an additional die.
it could have been an additional die
Oh, right?
if Janice was sort of into this approach.
Oh,
Making
yes,
a connection.
absolutely. Because I forgot about that. Janice asked you why you had an eye at Tamara, because Janice knew Tamara from another timeline, or at least knew someone like Tamara,
Mhm.
right? And then
Mhm.
realized why your face seemed uncannily familiar. And yeah, now you revealing the truth
That
makes her
die.
feel much more understood, because in effect what happened is your timeline ended and you started another. So even though that's how she's thinking about it, right? That you're telling her
Mhm.
you were someone else and now you are you, living on with the memories of someone who once was. And she thought she'd never meet anybody who understood what it was like to be her.
Mm-hmm.
Actor.
Did we lose it?
Successfully connected. Looks like we're still
Yeah.
good.
Yay.
And another 3. Fortunately, I caught most of that. Just
Okay.
up
Awesome.
just Craig's roll is where I cut off. So
Okay. There was a suggestion that
Oh, I can repeat it. Sure. That's right. I wasn't catching the subtext, which is that none of that went on the stream. So what I said isn't perhaps an explanation for why this was not as effective as we all would imagine it to be, is that there's a moment when Janice feels so understood because Saraya's timeline ended and she started it again, in effect. Like that's how Janice feels about her telling her she was herself in a different version of herself, and now she's she has the memories and shows she's a different person, but she's still the same person. She's trying to grapple with that. And Janice decides to initiate greater physical intimacy with Saraia. At least it's implicit, right? Like she's leaning in and she just feels really understood and overwhelmed by Saraia's confession. And then something interrupts it, something jarring or something that doesn't completely eliminate the significance, but makes it awkward for both of them in the moment in the mess hall. Considering we chose that to be the location
Right.
for it.
And I would like to offer an invitation that there might be an opportunity for Janice to conclude that conversation later as a way to heal harm.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Do whatever you want to do. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that makes sense because I was considering trying to help Saraia recover
Mhm.
as one of my downtime actions, so that would lead into the narrative. Or that would support the narrative is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. There was a loud noise outside. Barley's
Oh.
sister. All right, that was 1, 2, 3.
3? Yeah.
Yep, perfect. So either Lily or Janice.
Do you want to go and follow up that?
I can wait. It's up to you.
Okay. Is Malphus hurt?
He has a level 1 shaken confidence.
I think everyone has level 1.
Mm-hmm. But I also have 0 recovery in it.
Just gotta roll 6. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if I wanted to do a recover or a build links.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think I'll go for the links.
Right, because you have a lot more use for them, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically, like, Malphus has been reaching out, I guess, and trying to be helpful, so I'm going to reciprocate. And I kind of want to get him to stop lying. Like,
I love it.
just like get over yourself and admit that, you know, you actually like us. Yeah.
100% how you do this is going to determine whether or not Malphus appreciates it or not.
I feel like she's probably just going to be pretty blunt about it.
2 thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah, like during like a workout session or something, just gonna straight up.
You don't always have to be an asshole, you know?
Yeah, just like, I see what you're doing.
Admit it. Sometimes you think we're not bad.
Yeah. What do I roll for that?
I would say this would be either express or forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I like express, I think, because it's not so much.
You're using words with an agenda in mind, is how it's described.
So yeah, taking an extra die.
Do I need to set any of these positions or what?
Because it's downtime, so those don't matter.
Four.
A 4.
Cool.
So 3 links to Lily.
Or you get the links to me, not me to you.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to be like, you know, especially mid-workout, he can't escape because you know he's not about to stop working out because of an emotional thing. Yeah. Oh no, Lily's figuring out the cheat codes manipulating Malphus.
Yep.
But yeah, and he's like, and like it's very much I don't know what the hell. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. You all suck. I hate it here, etc., etc. But absolutely, like, there's a smirk on his lips. It's like, yeah, okay. Like you were figuring, like, people are starting to figure him out, which Malphus likes because he can't bring himself to openly admit that there are some people that he like and stuff like that. But
he also can't bring himself to actually be like commit to fully just being a dickhead.
No, much as he would like to. It's like, no, dang it, I actually care about people. Yep.
It'd be so much easier if I was a sociopath. They give me whatever I want, and I have a giant engine of destruction. Yeah. Why can't I just embrace it?
Yeah. Well, they won't let me in one, so I'm fixing up another one.
Why am I cursed with feelings?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. It seems like that's the nature of the game.
Oh, Sisyphus is hurt.
Yeah.
I want to work on that one.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
How do you connect with
awesome.
Malphus also says take another die. No.
I was planning on doing the same. So
yeah, I decided to go. Like, Diana's almost healed, which was my other thought, because that's the one that she has worked with before.
Yeah.
But Sisyphus needs more help. I feel like that's probably a conversation she has out loud in the mechanics bay. Decides to take time to go in there and
wrangle up some of your old like coworkers and
get to work and try to get us back into fighting shape, because that was rough. But yeah, walks in with the intent to fix the one that she has sort of vibed with the most, but ultimately Sisyphus needs more help. So I'm gonna pivot and get to work.
Logic over emotion. Love it.
Very cool.
And that's analyze?
Makes sense.
Yeah, it depends on your approach. Yeah, if you're just going through and very mechanically fixing up the mech.
Yeah, this is straight up mechanics work.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
6.
Yay!
That is 4 segments, aka
Woo!
a whole dot.
Yay!
Clicked.
Perfect.
Up to 2. Everybody's looking okay.
Fantastic.
By everybody, I mean the mechs,
Yep.
the engines. Y'all, you're doing okay.
We're okay.
Everybody's
You
a
know,
little frazzled.
We're as good as can be expected, I think.
Yeah.
We is what we is.
All right. And Janice.
So Janice, 2 downtime actions I think will be trying to help Saraia recover. And then well, before I do this, let me ask a question of everybody. Which engines do you think you all might want to jump into as we go out? So I want to make a connection with an engine that I might end up using. Sisyphus would be the one I would think to use, as it seems like we've distributed, but I'm not trying to call dibs on it. I could also use Alcipe or Medea, but I think we know that
I have
Malphus
Nemesis.
Oh, you have Nemesis
I
now.
just
Okay.
got Nemesis up to 2 strength, and I feel comfortable enough to take it
Oh,
out.
fantastic.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Oh, geez. Then I think we're gonna try and own her feelings. And she's gonna make a connection with Medea. That was probably the most honest she was behaving in like recent memory, right? Like all the destruction and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and feeling the power and the hunger.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
What kind of action?
And the
are you
way
taking?
she's gonna, what'd you say? What kind
So
of
what
action?
kind of action are you taking?
The way she's going to lean into it is Medea is a feral and hungry engine that believes that success occurs through embracing that, and Janice is going to satisfy Medea's expectations and thoroughly embrace it in some kind of mock training experience. I'm gonna head for flow here and just flow right into it and allow Medea to take the lead.
Yeah.
Like, what are we going to do next time? How are we going to demonstrate our power?
I've just now realized you've like maxed out your normal person dots in stars.
Yeah.
Done nothing to the other categories of actions.
I know.
Incredible.
Janice is one-dimensional, but it's going to change. It's going to change.
It's a cool dimension, though.
Yeah, it is. One reason why I wanted to do that is I wanted to see how bad the obligations are going to be. I wanted to be, all right, let's keep it at 1 dot for as long as possible.
Ash has done like literally the complete opposite.
Yeah. It's
It's
pretty
like
great.
1 dot. It literally has like 1 dot and a lot of skills.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
All
2
right.
in analyze.
There you
But
go.
yeah.
Whoa.
Nerd.
Sorry, I meant at least 1. I wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So flow, right? Does that work?
flow.
Cool. And please remind me when you're forming a connection with an engine, if the engine appreciates it, do you get an extra die?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Just the 2 dice. Makes sense.
Yep.
Do it. Come on. Ah, yes. Yes.
Nice.
Ash set the example for everyone and rolled.
Yes,
a 6,
Oh,
and
that's
yes.
that side of the die. Okay.
Didn't even know that one was there.
Wait a minute. Really? No.
It has other numbers.
I'm supposed to be rolling this pyramid-shaped one, right?
You're the one that hurt your foot. Those are dice, right?
Exactly, caltrops.
Caltrops.
Yes.
Yeah, so it goes well. Medea responds well to that. You get an intense sense of like this eagerness of like when When is it? When are we gonna do it? This is gonna be great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's that like hunting dog. Like you can feel you've got a grip on the collar, and you're like it's just like so ready to let go and take off.
Fantastic. You know what's going to happen
that
next
is
time.
4 links with the engine.
You know what's going to happen next time.
What's that?
When it snaps.
We're in the bay. They saw it last time. We're going to have to try it again.
Can't fuck it up this time. I've got more dice now.
That's right, exactly. It's gonna flow. It's gonna work, all right. We're gonna transcend in the mech and then immediately leap out. That's what's gonna happen. Poison promise. Push yourself for great effect. Just stack it up. All right. And then second downtime action. Going to try and help Saraia recover, or form a connection, whichever you think makes sense to you, Craig. In terms of, what do you think Saraia would appreciate?
Curing her loneliness.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Mm.
So, Janice would believe that, hey, Saraia is probably going to feel a bit awkward about the interrupted connection in the mess hall, and she would imagine that Saraia would probably expect that Janice might feel maybe a little awkward or not follow up on it immediately. But I'd say probably 15 minutes after they part ways in the mess hall, Saraia would receive a message from Janice that would just say when and where.
So, given the society and the pressures and stuff, Sarai's kind of like, is this really what I think it is, or is this? And doesn't really have a context.
Especially because you literally last night dropped the ball and were like, whoops.
Yeah. So I guess you would say mess hall in an hour? Question mark.
Janice would respond, if you would like it to be a public venue.
Okay.
Hello. We have private quarters, right? So how about your quarters then?
She sends back, I think that's a much better choice. Find me at your leisure.
Okay. I like how you're not dispelling her anxiety at all.
It's only like interpersonal intimacy that's sort of looked down upon.
Mm-hmm.
Sex is great. Everyone's like, that's a great way to blow off steam. Everyone's promoting that. Also, there's not that many humans left, so like,
please have at it.
Yeah,
please have at it. In any ways and combinations you'd like.
Right, and intimacy isn't even looked down on. It's just people don't have the bandwidth. They don't have the spoons for it.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, are there like blanket fertility treatments, considering that humanity has gone down? I'd imagine that instead of having this dystopian sterilization that happens in some places, right? It'd probably be the opposite, right? Like mandatory increase in fertility.
Like, you can just pop in and be like, I'd like to become a parent, please.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I think there's a lot less like promotion of like donors and surrogates and that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Like propaganda poster of like, I'm doing my part with like someone like holding their tummy, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
a well-paying job, probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. It also like aligns with the what I forget what term we settled on. the folks that are like
Oh,
paid slash volunteered.
Oh,
Yeah.
did we say we didn't like concubine, and we said attendant?
Consorts, I think.
Consorts,
is what
yeah.
we-
Consort,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, there's people that are in there for just a little while until the,
Mhm. Yeah, it makes sense to me. There's certainly got to be an aspect of treating pilots like they're prized breeding stock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God, Malphus probably has a shit ton of pressure about that now that I think
Yeah.
about it.
Wouldn't
Yep.
surprise me.
That's something I didn't want to go into any more detail than that with, because
Right.
it's really touchy and icky, but
But I can
But
see
yeah,
the
that is
performance review,
definitely-
like, dude, we've got 25 concubines,
yeah.
consorts on this ship.
And you're
You
here
visited none of-
flirting with the mechanics.
Yes.
It's like a performance review for your lack of performance.
And the worst part is Malphus probably is like, fuck, being given these orders, but at the same time, humanity really doesn't need to die out. Shit. I'm gonna do this, but
It's
I'm
not
not
like-
gonna like it.
That's right.
stronger-
It's
like, the stronger. I mean, there are still
Right.
millions of humans, right?
Mhm.
It's not like it's down to
Right.
just you, right?
Right.
Uh,
No, but the
Malphus
pilot
is running
aspect
everything.
is what I was thinking.
you and FELTs. Fuck. Anyways.
Yep.
Was that everybody?
Okay.
So,
Oh, you gotta make a roll.
So, yeah, I got to do the roll. Janice is intentionally sending that message and leaving it for it to play on Saraia's expectations. So, and then when she arrives, and I'll roll, and I guess we'll narrate perhaps what happens after.
Sounds great.
So, all right. Come on. 4. All right. I think that's 3 ticks, right? Yeah,
Yep.
3 segments.
Right.
3 segments on your clock. Cool.
that's
Great.
awesome.
So it's a success. So you arrive at Janice's room.
And by the time she's arrived, she's pretty much convinced herself that you called her here to tell her that this is all making you uncomfortable.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh no.
Excellent. Fantastic. So when you arrive in, does Saraia seem nervous? Does she seem withdrawn?
Withdrawn.
Okay.
And she would kind of open up with, I did some, I think if you want to start something with, stand up to authority. That'll get Malphus's attention, if that's the way to do it, if you want to do it.
She looks kind of surprised. And says, "Is that what you'd prefer to talk about, Malphus?"
No. Not really.
I didn't adorn my room with pleasant scents to talk about
That's true.
somebody who invites brutality.
So she would sniff and then realize for the first time. And then, like, suspicious. What?
And
If
then
this-
Janice gets
if
up
this-
and boldly walks over to Saraia and
Mhm.
stands within her personal space and says, "I want to spend time with you in a manner of your choosing, because I think you do a lot of trying to make choices based on what other people want. And perhaps you'd feel better if you made choices based on what you want."
I've learned that the things that I want aren't often compatible with those that are around me.
She smiles. I know you're going to continue.
Mhm.
She just smiles and says, try me.
If this is what I think it is, it has to mean something
Why wouldn't it?
because most of the time it doesn't.
She says, did it mean something when you were telling me that you are basically the only person in this universe who has experienced something like I have?
Yeah, it meant something.
Seems like enough for me. And then she says, to be blunt, considering you sometimes aren't, and Malphus has taught me that that has value. We don't have to have sex if that's not what you want. The point of this is, Saraia, I think that you connect to people differently than others do. I am been inclined to connect to people a little more cerebrally. Malphus connects to people through bold action, even though he genuinely does have feelings.
License later.
You connect to people through emotive experience. But that can come in many forms. And considering you just acknowledged that oftentimes physical intimacy in our world is devoid of it, if you just want to cuddle on the couch and fall asleep, that's okay with me.
I would want to to answer your challenge, I guess. I would want more. I want the physical, but I need the connection too. It can't just be about pleasure. I mean, there's a place for that, I guess, but I need the connection.
Then let's start there and see where it goes.
So Soraya's kind of bewildered and I guess gets led. Like she's afraid that she's going to burst whatever bubble this seems to be. So she's really
That's
Makes
doesn't want to disturb anything.
that's heavily relatable.
Yep.
Internal
that's a
monologue
real,
every time
yeah,
I've
it's a
ever
real
started
queer
dating
truth,
someone.
right?
It's just been like, don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Don't fuck up. Please be real. Please let this thing happen, but don't fuck it up. Yeah.
And you'll notice that, as I said, right, Janice is quite compliant, even with your hesitance. Your hesitation, I mean. I mean, however way it goes is entirely what Saraia chooses. Even if Saraia ends up thinking, oh, I could have been more forward. I'm not saying Janice is being passive, but Janice is very intentionally trying to prioritize what Saraia might want because she doesn't know exactly what she wants.
No, comfort and safety.
Yes, exactly. She's just
Um,
open to being with her and giving her care and connection.
Wonderful.
And when we go eclipse, it's gonna happen. We'll see. You know what's gonna happen.
From there,
Mm-hmm.
after a handful of days, all of these events taking place over the course of them,
Yeah.
you arrive back at the Last Bastion, and there are, as you arrive back at like around orbit and coming in, there are like lots of communications going around, and people are like running at cross purposes, and seems that something has happened in Neolesia while you were gone.
No. Yeah.
There is I think as you come into land, you see that there are a couple places of smoke.
Whoa!
From buildings.
Oh no!
He started the revolution and didn't wait for me to get here.
Trying to see what am I going to say here. Next time we will do an engagement roll. The mission will be in Neo Elysia.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had straight up shower thoughts. I was like, I wonder if Chris is going to let us do a mission, but outside the engines.
So I have
Yes.
In the good place sort of way. It's like, oh, thanks for all those like 12, like the 4 different clues you gave us, Michael.
Yes.
It's like
yes.
I left 47,000 different clues.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, good place reference. I love that show.
So I think the stage is that the disagreements between the sort of mechanic faction and the religious faction.
Yeah.
Between Arsinoe, who leads the mechanics, and Xantippe, who leads the religious and the pilot selection and stuff like that. That through the sort of like political shadow war sort of thing that had been going on, has ramped up. Mm-hmm. I think there are urgent communications to Lily from members of Arsinoe's faction to like, you'll never believe what they've done, what they've been doing, and the power they've tried to seize, and very much like, well, you tell me, do you buy into that immediately? Or are you like, oh shit, someone's just trying to like?
I think coming from the mechanics,
mm-hmm.
Lily would probably listen to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like these are her people.
Right. Okay. I will give you more info when we start up next time as a sort of like coloring your biases sort of way. But all of you are going to be operating on a lack of info as you hit the ground running. And True's...
I love it.
No, you're there. You were very still.
Oh.
Like, she would definitely just relay to everyone else what they were telling her. Because she doesn't have any reason to really doubt her people, right?
Yeah.
I will say that Malphus has communications from Xantippe and some of the folks that were like working with you when you like gave that big speech last time and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, you know, we need you to come and like help us make peace, and that things have gotten out of control, and very like capital letters, like other members of the council have, you know, that sort of thing. And then from like one of the like not quite tabloids, but like the people that like you know, cover a lot of the like
drama.
Yeah, the drama of the pilots, and like, you know, here's the
kind of paparazzi-esque.
Yeah. Paparazzi is probably a good terminology.
If you want to use like a Greco-Roman term, we could call them the Stentors.
I'm not familiar with this one.
This is where Stentorian comes from. They're like a herald with a Stentorian voice. Those who would yell out pronouncements in news.
Sounds great. That's definitely like the name of this like rag, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your like subscription to it, Janice.
Mm-hmm.
Like auto updates when you get back within like
Oh yes,
Earth connection Wi-Fi.
Yes!
And there is just like really grainy screenshots of like religious zealots like throwing a fucking Molotov at a building.
Whoa!
And like but then like the article is like, is this doctored footage? And like
yeah,
like
of course,
false flags in the last nation on earth sort of vibe of the headline. And like I think a lot of the some of the like Mechanic Alliance stuff makes its way to Saraia as well. From some of the like, because I think you still probably have some connection to like the boots on the ground sort of things, the average soldier. So
yeah, that makes sense to me.
And
it's not enough Leviathans are trying to kill us. We want to do it faster.
Absolutely,
Right.
yeah. It's like, oh, there's only one nation left on Earth, and people
of course
really
we're
care
doing
about
this.
being in charge of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we will actually roll the engagement next time, but
makes sense.
The gist of it is that you are quickly shuttled out of the Argo into the safety and seclusion of your private residences, off the streets and everything. And then from there we will see what y'all decide to do, what you engage with, what you want to investigate, what you want to look into, and what is happening.
Yes.
What a day to have 5 stress.
What a day to have 5 stress.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm doing great.
I'm very glad you gave me links. Thank you.
Yeah, what a day to have a leg rack.
Yeah.
Still having to run around. Yeah, people got some great stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time.
So I know this is a little bit of a shorter session, but
no worries.
I think it's more appropriate to go ahead and cut it here, and then
It's a natural stopping point in the story.
Yeah. So thank you all once again for joining us as we got real sad and gay with it for most of this episode. And if you want to come and talk about the episodes and hang out with us and talk about video games and birds and all kinds of other things, you can check us out on Discord, yeetinto.space. If you want to become one of the wonderful patrons that and have one of us read your name at the beginning of the episodes as thanks, feel free to swing by our Patreon. That is staylucky.club. Once again, we are so thankful you joined us. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, stay magical.
Yeah.